Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Executive Director of the Louisiana Rural Water Association, Mr. Pat Crater.
Bonjour, tous mes amis. Welcome to Louisiana. Hopefully everyone's having a great time. The ones of you that have not hit the French Quarter, hopefully you do before you leave here, and I wish you all the safe shopping and as much drinking as you can do before you leave. And don't say you haven't, because I've seen a lot of you out there the last couple of days. And I was just coming from church, so we have a guest here with us today that's been a friend of Rural Water for many years. I served with him on the governor's water policy task force. He's been in government for 20-somewhat years. I had a long speech to talk to him about Mr. Angelle, and I decided against it because this gentleman here that'll be up here in a few minutes has helped out Rural Water tremendously. He has helped us out with our energy conservation programs. He's helped us out with our state compliance programs. And whenever I need this gentleman to assist us, he comes to bat for us. He's served as Secretary of the Department of Natural Resources. He's now serving as Lieutenant Governor under the Governor Bobby Jindal. So would you please put your hands together for my friend, a friend of Rural Water, Lieutenant Governor Scott Angelle.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me this morning to be a part of this day and to spend my morning with folks who share my passion for the responsible management of our natural resources. You know, I'm not so sure about, after yesterday's game, whether or not we ought to let the folks from Georgia in the building today. But nonetheless, because of our outstanding hospitality here in Louisiana, we're going to do the right thing, but we'll be looking for you during the course of the day. And I understand you were scheduled to meet in Nashville this year, and because of Mother Nature and some of the flooding issues there, you had to redirect, and you find yourselves in New Orleans, Louisiana this week. So we first of all say thank you for choosing Louisiana, and I think it's appropriate for us to understand, however, that you are here because of a tragedy in one of our sister states. So we take the time to be with our thoughts and prayers, to be with those folks, both in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Mississippi, as they respond. And I do want to say thank you to Pat Crater, the Executive Director of the Louisiana Rural Water Association, and to my folks from the Louisiana Rural Water Association. Let the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Louisiana say today and every day that the Louisiana Rural Water Association is the best rural water association in the nation. I don't care what the other 49 states say. And I bring greetings to you from Governor Jindal and the men and women of Louisiana who have been working hard day in and day out for the past 161 days as we try to restore our way of life here in coastal Louisiana, and never forgetting the 11 great Americans who lost their life in the Deepwater Horizon tragedy. We ask that you keep their families in your thoughts and prayers, and I welcome you to a slice of America that believes we can have it all. At the same time, we produce, explore, refine, and process 1/3 of the nation's energy. At the same time we do all of that, we also provide 20% of the nation's fisheries catch for the lower 48 states. We are not an either-or state in Louisiana. We respect those states that wish to be an either-or state. We believe that the good Lord calls us to manage all of our natural resources simultaneously for the betterment of this nation, and we believe what we have done in Louisiana makes this nation a better place and a more secure nation, and I know you believe that as well because you do the same thing in your work. And again, welcome to New Orleans, this great city that only 5 years ago, this great city was destroyed by Hurricane Katrina, the worst natural disaster our nation has ever known. I'm here to tell you we've taken our shots. We got to the mat, but we have survived, and we have risen to answer the bell. Since that storm, we have worked to rebuild this city block by block, business by business, church by church, house by house. And while there is much work yet to be done, You can see the progress that has been made during your visit here, and we are on our way back to being stronger, smarter, and bolder than ever before. And on behalf of a grateful state, on behalf of a state that 5 years ago was indeed on its knees, thank you for the efforts that you have made, both as taxpayers of this country and as citizens, and many of you as volunteers helping out. As you spend time in New Orleans and after you return to your homes, please leave with one thing, if you leave with nothing, that we in Louisiana appreciate the contributions you have made to help us restore this great city and this great state. Not only did you come to our rescue to help with our infrastructure, you helped to restore our soul, our very soul. So I would like all of us to, if you would please join with me in giving yourselves a round of applause for helping the 18th great state of the Union get off of the mat and be here to host you today. Would you please join with me in that round of applause? And earlier this year, Louisiana was designated as the happiest state in the nation. It was a survey that I'm not real sure what the metrics that were used in that survey, but nonetheless, it was a survey that came out and said that Louisiana was the happiest state in the Union. And then about 6 weeks ago, Business Week came out with a survey that said we were the laziest state in the Union. And our health, and I'll address that in a second, and our health records show from time to time that we can be the most obese state in the Union. So as America's newest lieutenant governor with jurisdiction over recruiting retirees and tourists, I'm looking for any suggestions from this distinguished group on how I might say, welcome to the land of opportunity, home of fat, happy, and lazy. But just to set the record straight, that lazy study was clearly not about our work ethic, because I will put our work ethic against anybody, anywhere, any place on this planet. It was about how we enjoy our leisure time here in Louisiana, that it's okay to gather around the campfire, it's okay to gather around a tailgate, it's okay to relax. Not every mountain has to be climbed, and not every bayou has to be paddled, that it's okay for us to just enjoy ourselves, and we do that here. So you are certainly part of a culture here that knows how to have a good time, knows how to work hard, and knows how to enjoy family. And I'm impressed that you started your meeting today with a prayer and a national anthem, because sometimes in this country we forget those things, and I do appreciate your value. Nonetheless, we believe in Louisiana that we are entering into a stage in this country where water will be the commodity of the 21st century. And we believe in Louisiana we would have a distinct advantage in that. While other states have fought for generations over water rights and access, in Louisiana our surface water covers nearly 15% of our state. We have been mostly immune to the so-called water wars. Here we have more than 6,600 lakes of all sizes, a wealth of rivers, names like the Ouachita, the Red, the Sabine, the Champhalaria, and the granddaddy of them all, the mighty Mississippi. That system of rivers and lakes also plays a part in feeding the 13 primary aquifers that provide our groundwater. However, Louisiana is a state that has not always treated water as an asset. In fact, we have often treated it as a liability, a state that has been forced as a matter of public policy to spend billions of dollars actually to get rid of water through our levee systems, our spillways, our locks, and our floodgates. But now with the population growth that we're seeing in the metro centers of America, we realize that our water is an asset that demands management. It's an asset worth protecting and managing to make sure that the next generation can inherit Louisiana's unique position of strength in water resources. And speaking of unique, what a heck of a 5 years it has been for all of us. We started 2005. Remember, in 2005, we started, oil was trading around $42 a barrel. We watched oil go all the way up by July 4th, 2008, from $42 a barrel. It went to $149 a barrel of oil. You all remember that. You remember when you were paying, some of you in some states of our union, paying $5 for gasoline. And then by Christmas, and when the economy imploded in October of 2008, again, we started at 42 5 years ago, up to 149. By Christmas of 2008, it was $36 a barrel. It's starting to settle somewhere around the $75. During that same 5-year period in Louisiana, we saw state government go from $1 billion surplus to $1 billion deficit. We experienced Katrina, Rita, Gustav, and Ike. We witnessed the election of America's first governor of Indian descent and our first African-American president. We have heard in the last 5 years of carbon capture, cap and trade, climate change, global warming, and yet we witnessed 4 snowfalls in South Louisiana during those last 5 years. We've heard of renewable energy. We've heard of alternatives, hydrokinetics, wind, solar, biodiesel, shale plays, from saying yes to imported liquefied natural gas to now having too much domestic natural gas, from drill, baby drill, to oil spill, a top kill, a static kill, and a final kill. During the last 5 years, this generation of Americans witnessed the implosion of the automobile industry, the housing industry, financial markets at near collapse, credit freezes. We learned a new phrase, too big to fail, but in Louisiana, through it all, that 5-year period of time, we enjoyed 2 college football national championships, a national baseball championship, a trip to the Final Four, and after 43 years in football purgatory, a Super Bowl championship. Can I get a hallelujah or an amen? But I think it's appropriate for us to call a time out and gather around the campfire today here at the National Rural Water Association meeting and to discuss some of the major issues facing us as we look forward and understand water resources in the future. Certainly, as providers of water, you are very concerned and are called to be stewards of the most critical natural resource on this planet. And in this nation, rural water systems are the lifeline for small communities, providing water that is clean, dependable, and affordable, and adding value to communities as they try to develop their economies. No major economic development story can be told without someone talking about we have water available in our jurisdiction. So what you do is not only important to the families of America, but certainly to the economic development. I'm aware of the 52,000 community water systems in this nation. Of those 52,000, more than half of them serve 500 people or less, and 9 out of 10 serve communities of 10,000 or fewer. And because rural water systems often have to build more infrastructure to reach fewer customers in comparison to more metropolitan areas, costs are naturally going to be higher for rural operations that cannot generate as much revenue. But today I want to introduce you to something that I believe is very, very important, and I want to open your eyes and ears to a concept that I have been going across the nation talking about. The previous generation dealt with something we all call the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. And that will certainly be a focus for this nation for a long time as we try to understand and improve our educational situation. But I would tell you that the biggest public policy debate of our generation will be what I call the 3 E's. And those 3 E's being energy, environment, and economy, and the balance of those 3 E's. Our need to balance the economic, environmental, and energy policies of this nation is profound. And my fear is that if that is not done in a well-connected, thought-out manner, we will find ourselves in a prolonged economic crisis. And the common factor, crucial to all that we do in producing our energy and maintaining our environment and operating our economy, in my opinion, is water. Water is in the bullseye of our efforts to balance those 3 E's, energy, environment, and economy. In my opinion, if we fix the balance between our energy and environmental policies in this country, we can fix our auto industry. If we fix the balance between our energy and environmental policies in this country, we can fix our housing industry. In my opinion, if we fix the balance between our energy and environmental policies in this country, we can fix a great deal of our credit industry. In fact, I believe water and energy are critically linked to this nation. Energy production in this nation uses a great deal of water, no matter the source. As an example, every gallon of crude oil refined in this country requires an average of 1.5 gallons of water to manufacture the gasoline, diesel, and the other petrochemicals we depend on every day. And as this nation looks more and more to renewable energies, such as biofuels, the need for water will increase. This nation consumed 114 billion gallons of water a day in 2005 and is estimated to grow by 20% to 136 billion in 2030. The water needed for irrigation